Right, it is okay. Some of people have been removed because they didn't accept the recording part. So you guys have to rejoin if you are being removed. Okay, it's being recorded, guys. I'll just come back to these questions later. So let me just start the session. Okay. So there are some CSS updates that I made. So I've also pushed that update to the repo. I mentioned this yesterday as well. So you have to just take a pull from it. Okay. So today let's replace this static image with the input field where we can actually upload an image. So what we'll be doing is, what is this? Let's go back to minted NFT. No, not this minted NFT form, right? Yeah, here. So here we have the static image, right? So let's remove the static image, or let me save it somewhere because I might need this. No, let me remove this. I don't need this. Yeah. Then we have to have a div, okay, a parent div that holds the image as well as the input field. Okay, and then another div that will be the input field, and then this another div that is actually an image. Okay, we have two divs. So for the class reference and everything, I've actually added that on CSS. So if we go to minting form styles, you have to get the CSS as well. So here you can see image upload container, and then image holder and upload image. So you guys copy this class name, give it to the parent div. It is the image upload container, and then image holder would be the div that actually holds the image, and then upload image would be the div that actually prompts the user to upload an image. Okay, these are the two things, and then you should actually see. Oh, this is too big. Oh, because I have two things here. That's why. We'll take care of that. If I comment out one, then you can see now the height is resized. So now what we'll do is we have to install one more package, that is React icons. So I'm gonna come back, go inside NFT minting engine again, yarn add React icons. Okay, React icons. So that will be added. So now let's import React icons. We'll leave it empty. React icons. But we need the icon, right? We need the plus icon, right? So we'll go to the documentation of React icons. Okay, React icons, and then we'll search for plus. Okay, so we get a lot of results here. So we just need one good icon. I'm gonna go with this one. Okay, it is AI outline plus square. So I'm gonna click on that. Okay, and then I'm gonna just add it here. Okay, and then look at the first two letters, AI, right? So you have to add it /AI here. Okay, that will be important. Now we can add it here directly. Okay, now if we go back to the output, you can see we got an icon. Okay, so now let's get this to let's add this text as well. So now we can also add a strong text, strong upload an image. Okay, if we come back, you can see we got the both the things here. So now we have to take care of little bit of styling. So here, oh wait. Image holder is the image, and image upload image is actually this one, right? Okay. I'm confused. They should actually go down here. This should be here. Okay. Now we can see this is actually valid. Okay. Now we can add some size for this one. We'll increase size to 2M, which will give us a bigger icon. Right. So you can see now it's totally fine. So now let's take care of this image here. This is very simple. All you have to do is add an image tag. So maybe we can copy the old one. I think we have that on NFT minted. So we can copy this, paste it here. So come back, and if you comment out this one, you can see now the reason why I made it this way is you can see there are a lot of spaces here, right? The reason why I made it this way is I'm actually making this as an object with contain instead of cover. Why is because not every image would be square, right? Some image might be like rectangular, like it might be the width might be less, the height might be big. Some image might have very big width but a lesser height. That's the reason what I did was that I made it contain. So when you do contain, the image will resize itself so that all the part of the image will be shown here. Okay, So that's why I made it what do you say, object fit contained. So I'll just show you the demo as well for that. I'm going to let me just say NFT image for the alt text here. So if you go to NFT form styles here, if you search for something called object fit contain, if you just change it to cover, now see what happens. See, the image is zoomed in itself, right? The image zoomed in. So you're not, right now, if you do this, you're not able to see the whole image right now, just seeing some part of that image. That's why I made it contained so that it just resizes itself so that we can see every single hooks and corner of all the image. Okay. So now this is fine. So we have good thing, but the description field is kind of small right now. Let's just tackle that. So we just, all you have to do is you just have to provide rows of around 4 or 5 for text area. So this will increase the height. Now it's fine. Okay, cool. So we got this thing ready, but how can I upload the image right now? So, I mean, this is static right now, right? There's nothing else right now. So let's tackle that. To upload an image, we have to have some state here. So let's write some React states. So first state I'm going to have is the title of the NFT. So I'm going to say title, set title, and then use state of string. Similarly, we have description. So I'm going to say description, set description. Okay. Similarly, we'll have image. So I'm going to say image, set image. But here we need, instead of this string, we'll have two things, object. So inside this is how I like to structure this whenever I try to work with image upload. So I'll have a preview with a string and then raw with null. So what I'm trying to do here is, whenever you upload an image, we generate, right? We generate this object URL. Whenever you upload an image, we generate a like object URL, like let's say temporary URL, to give it a preview on the UI here. And then raw will actually store all the information of the file, the image file. Okay, you'll actually see that. So now let's write some functions to handle the change. So I'm going to say handle title change. Let's say event set title e.target.value. So we'll have the same thing. We'll have a description change, set description, and then we'll have the same thing, handle image change. But here this will be a function. So what we'll be doing is we'll first get the file e.target.files of 0. So by default, whenever you upload a file in HTML, it will be like, it will consider that as an array of files. Okay, it might be one or multiple files. You will get the output as array of files. That's the reason I'm actually referring to files of 0, because we're uploading only one image. Okay, and that will be showing this here. And then we will set image. Okay, I need the preview URL, right? So here I'm going to say preview URL dot create object URL file. So URL here is the native object of JavaScript, and then we are calling create object URL to create an object URL from this file. Okay, so now I'm going to say preview to update this preview here, and then raw would be the file. Okay, the file itself. Okay, so now let's handle these changes. So I'm going back to my input fields here. And then here I'm going to say value would be title, on change would be handle title change. Okay. Do you guys have any questions on React? Not yet, right? Okay. And similarly, we have to do the same thing here. We'll say value of description, and then on change, we'll say handle description change. Okay. All right. We'll handle the button later, but right now we're able to handle these stuff. But where are we uploading the image? We're not uploading it right now. Let's upload it. So I'm going to add an input field on top of this here. Okay. Again, outside this parent there. Okay. I'm going to say input type of file, input type file. Okay, if we go back now, we can see we get this. So this is the difference, guys. So when you go with HTML input file, I mean, this works fine. You can see I'm getting all my like the file system opened and everything. But the issue is you won't be able to customize it directly. So to customize this whole input field, you have to write a lot of CSS, you have to handle a lot of keys as well. So what we'll be doing is we'll be using the refs here. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to just say I'm going to disable this. I mean I'm going to just display none, hide this. Okay, so now it is hidden, but it is available on the UI, but it's hidden. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to just make sure to hide this one and then to uncomment this one right now. So I'm gonna show this one. Okay. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have a ref here. I'm gonna say upload image ref, use ref. Okay. Now what we're trying to do is we're directly trying to refer this input file, this element from the DOM, not from virtual DOM, from the DOM. Okay. So we have this upload image ref. So we'll provide this here. We'll say ref, provide it here. Okay. And then upload image handler. We have to say on change. Call this upload image handler. But how am I going to, like, let me click on this. It doesn't work. How am I going to open the file system right now? Remember the file system that opened up when I click on the choose file. How are we going to open that? For that, we'll write a function. I'm going to say const open file system. And then here, I'm going to accept the event. I'm going to say event.prevent default. Okay. And then here, I'm going to say upload image ref dot current dot click. Okay. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to click this this element whenever I call this function. So I'm going to call this function from here on click. Call that function open file system. Okay, now let me refresh this. If I click on this right now, you can see I'm able to open this. Okay, I'm able to open this, and let me open up my React DevTools and actually show you that the values are being updated. So what is this component name? Meant from NFT. Go to this here, so you can see we have some states here, right? First state is the title, description, preview is none, raw is none. So let's upload an image. I'll upload some watch image here. And now we can see we got this preview URL, right? You can see we have the preview URL, and then in a draw, we have the file, but it's not appearing here, right? It's not appearing here. Let's tackle that. So to do that, it's very simple. It's really, really simple. All you have to do is image. If image exists, right? If image.preview URL, if that exists, then we render this. Okay, we render this, or else we render upload image. And in place of this src, we say image.preview. So now we can see we got it. Right? We got it. And what if you want to change this? What if you want to change the image? To do that, what we can do is we can move this on click to the parent component. Okay, so whenever you click on this, a file system opens, so you can easily change the image. Okay, see? Now we're able to easily handle image uploads. And again, we didn't use any libraries, guys. We made it ourselves. Okay, that's one of the amazing things of React. You're able to use ref and then refer the DOM elements and directly call it. That's great. Right. Okay, now we're able to handle these stuff. Now we're able to add title, we're able to add description. We're just one step away, that is minting it, right? Whenever you click on this button, you have to mint it. Before that, you have to upload this image somewhere. So that is where we get Pinata. Okay, so you have to go to this pinata.cloud. Okay, again, if you search Pinata, you just get this horse. Let me show you. What if I just search Pinata? If I just search Pinata, okay, I think because I usually work with Pinata, I am getting this because this result is cached. Let's try from incognito mode. Let's search Pinata, just Pinata. What do we get? This is nice. I don't know whether I try. I think I tried it from Brave, I guess. I just searched Pinata on Google, and I ended up getting this horse image like this one. I didn't get Pinata Cloud. So if you get this horse image, just search for Pinata Cloud in Google. Okay, Pinata Cloud, and that should actually give you this link. Okay, and then you have to log in. I already have an account, so I'm going to log in directly. Okay, so once you log in, this is the dashboard you're going to get. Okay, the whole dashboard. All right, so you can see I already have some of the data that's already available here. Okay, so now what you have to do is, once you log in, okay, it's this normal Google sign that also works. Okay, you have to click on this avatar here and click on API keys. Again, avatar on right side top, API keys. API keys. Okay, it's here. So API keys here. So I already have a API key, but I'm going to show you how to create one. Okay, so click on new key here. So you get a pop-up here. So what you have to enable is pinning. So go inside pinning, enable everything if you want. Okay, enable everything. Again, data is not needed, but if you want, you can enable that. Okay, again, pinning service API here, enable everything. It's fine, but you can enable everything. That would be better. Okay, we don't run into any weird issues later. Okay, then you can give a key name, this key or something, and then click on create key. Okay, and you click on create. So you'll get all these stuff, copy all, and then save it somewhere, or else this is the only time you're going to be this will be visible. Again, it won't be visible. Okay, copy this and save it somewhere. Okay, already have this, so I'm going to revoke this. I don't need this because I already have this Duolearn saved in my system. Okay, so this is how we can create a Pinata Cloud API key. Now let's go to Pinata documentation. And we go to Pinata API. Okay, Pinata API, and then Pinata pinning. Pin a file or directory. Okay, this one. So this is the API we'll be using to upload files. Okay, upload files and then our metadata of our NFT. So again, this is the Node.js example. And then you can see it's using file system and everything. But we can upload from React using this multi-part file, content type. All right. So now let's do that. So we'll go back to our code. We'll just create a utility function for that. So inside source, I'm going to create a folder called utils. And then I'm going to create a file called pin files to IPFS.js. Okay, I want to add it. Okay, so now we'll export const pin file to IPFS. Okay, and this will be an async function. So we'll say async, and obviously error handling is necessary. So whenever you're declaring async function, make sure the first that you write is a try catch block. Okay, so we'll throw the error if there's anything, and also we'll log it. Okay, and here's what we'll do. So first thing is we need the URL. So URL of the the endpoint. The endpoint is this one. So we'll copy this API cloud, API of Pinata Cloud, pin files to IPFS. We'll paste it here. Okay. All right. Next thing that we need is the form data. So we need the form data. So form data that will be sending it from the component. Okay. So now we have to generate a config. Axios config. Okay. So we'll copy this everything from here. Come back here. The method will be post. The URL is already available. So maybe we can delete this here. We can have this over here. Okay, you can delete this data or get header. We don't need it. Instead of data here, we'll add form data. Okay, Pinata JWT. So this is where you have to copy paste your key. So remember the biggest key that you had. So let me just get my key. I've saved it in my DM. Right. Right. So here is this is the format to get it right. So JWT, you have to copy the JWT, the biggest key. Okay, copy that. Better. After better, make sure you give a one space, just one space, and then paste it. Okay, and then you have to add content type. So content type. Okay, multi-part. I think multi-part files or something. Let me just Google this. Do we have that here? Yeah, we have it here. Content type. Let me, because I'm worried that if I mess up the spellings and everything, it won't work later. Then we have to spend time debugging it. So let me just copy this whole thing. Just this is enough. Boundary is not needed. Okay. All right. Multi-part / form data. So this is enough. Okay. So you get everything here. Then let's install Axios. Yeah, add Axios. You can use basic native fetch here, but the thing is I've had some issues with fetch whenever I'm trying to send multi-part data. So that's why I just roll back to Axios without any questions, so that I don't have to face any issues. So you can try with fetch. Fetch is also better since you're only doing one API call here. But since I don't know whether that's common or only I face that, but whenever I try to use fetch with multi-part, I get a lot of issues with that. Okay. So we'll say data dot await Axios config. We'll pass that. And then we'll return, oh, we can do one thing. We can just return this directly, which is fine. Okay. So now what we're trying to do is we're trying to define a config file where this is a common API setup, right? Everybody already knows this, right? And normally we have endpoint, we have the post request, we have the header, authorization header, para token here, and then the content type would be multi-part form data, and then we're sending a data that will be receiving from the parameter, okay? And then we are returning the Axios here. Let's go back to our component here. We'll import that. We'll say utils, and then we'll import pin file. Pin file to IPFS. Why is it not detecting? That's weird. Will be exporting it. Export const. Oh, okay. It's capital P. Yeah. All right. So now what we'll do is we'll write another function called mint NFT. We'll say const mint handler. This will be an async as well. Again, this will be an async function because this is where we'll call the contract and everything. Again, try catch. Here we'll log it because this is the parent function, right, which is calling the function. So here we'll log the error. So the first thing that we have to do is upload the image to IPFS. So first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to say image underscore form data, new form data. So form data is another class from a class of, I think it's an object, I guess. No, I think it's object. Yeah, it should be, it's a class, I guess, from the JavaScript. Okay, so you can use this to define form data. So we have to do two form data. One is for image, to upload an image and get the IPFS hash. And then we have to upload this title and description as well. So that is the metadata. So I'm going to say metadata form data, new form data. Okay, so first we'll deal with image here. So here we'll say image form data dot append file, okay, type of file, and then here remember we add this raw in the state, so we'll say raw, okay, and then we'll give an image name as well. So we'll say image dot raw dot name. So this will be the file name, okay. So here we are defining the form data, and now we'll upload it. So here I'm going to say upload image, upload result, await pin file to IPFS, image form data. Okay, now we'll log this. Let's log this result dot data. And then we have to call this function. Guys, 1 second. Hey guys, I'm back. Sorry for that. Okay, now we have to call this mint handler whenever we click on this mint button. So let's first go inside this gradient button component. So seems like, okay, we have something here. So if you have git pulled, I made some changes here. That is, I have a function called do nothing that actually does nothing. Okay, so now what we're doing is we're checking if we have on-click property from getting from the props. If we do, then we are running the function, that function whenever there's an on-click, or else we are just doing nothing. Okay, so now what we'll do is we'll pass on-click here. On-click mint handler. Okay, now let's go back to our output. Let's open up our terminal here. Let me clear this. Sorry, console. Let me refresh the app. Clear the console again. Let me add the image. We don't need title description right now because we're not uploading it. We're uploading only image right now, right? So let's click on Mint NFT. Let's see what happens. Okay, you can see here we got the IPFS hash, right? So you can see we got the IPFS hash. This is the size of the image, and this was the timestamp. So let us copy this hash, and let's just check it out. So to check it out, you have to go with gateway. Okay, you have to go with gateway.pinata.cloud/IPFS/the hash without quotes. Okay, gateway.pinata.cloud. Sorry guys, you have to go to this link to check it out, whether the image was uploaded or not. This will actually give you the preview. It will take a bit of time because gateway of Pinata Cloud is a free version, and they don't they're not generous to give you the server speed for the free version. So it might take a bit of time to show you the output, but it will actually eventually come up. So we just leave it there. And since it's working right now, it's time for us to upload the this one. Let me just pull up my notes to upload for metadata. Whenever you need it, your notes app just disappears in my mobile, to be honest. Okay, I got it. I think I got it. This is actually weird. I didn't get it properly. Great. Let me search for that. This is where it should be, though. Right. I think I got it. Okay, this should be it. Yes. Okay. So to upload an image metadata, you have to create a JSON file out of the title and description. So now let's just copy this key name, that is IPFS hash. So this will be something like this. So we'll comment this out for later reference. And now we'll upload, we'll just have to create metadata file here. So here I'm going to say metadata blob. We have to create a blob object. So we'll say new blob. Okay, blob is another format in JavaScript. So here we'll say blob. We'll give an array, and then we'll say JSON dot stringify, and then here we'll start passing the metadata value. So we'll start passing the title, description, and then for image we won't pass the image link. Instead, we'll pass the IPFS hash. Okay, this one. So you cannot pass something like directly like this. You have to modify the structure a little bit. Okay, if you start from IPFS :/ and then this value, because IPFS is another protocol, so you have to pass it via the protocol. Okay, or else it won't work. Okay, now this should be fine though, and the only thing next thing you have to do is you have to just say, wait. If I'm zoomed in, I won't be able to properly structure and see this. I have no idea whether this is properly structured or not right now. Is it? Yeah, now it's fine. Okay. Now we'll have to take care of a little bit of processing here. That is the space and everything. So when you do this, if you stringify without this null and then this spacer, so it will actually combine everything into a single line of string. So when you do this, it actually gives you some space and everything, so it will appear properly. That's all. Okay. And then now after this, as the second parameter for this blob, we have to say what is the type of this. So it will be type of application slash JSON. That's it. So this is how we can create the whole the JSON file out of the blob. So now we'll follow the same step to upload it. So we'll copy this form data. Instead of image, we'll just say metadata. Metadata form data that we had this here. And then we'll have file again here. We'll say file and we'll say metadata blob. Okay. And then for the name, I'll just specify the title. So let us specify the title of the NFT itself. Okay. So now, since it is specified, what we have to do is we have to upload this. So we'll copy the same thing, paste it here. We'll say metadata upload result. Metadata upload result. Instead of this, we'll say metadata form data. Okay. Now let's log this metadata form data dot IPFS hash, and let's check it out the result. Okay. So once if this is successful, the only thing that's left is minting call. Okay. Now let's check it out. Let's refresh. Let's upload an image. Let's say NFT. This is a test NFT. And then we click on mint. So this should actually upload the image, create this metadata file, and give us the hash, which is here. Now let's test it. Oh, this thing is still loading. Let me just use my internal IPFS. Actually, internally, we have this IPFS subscription, which lets me actually access this faster. So you can see now we have this metadata, right? You can see we have an NFT, we have the description as well, and we have image as IPFS hash. To see the image, let's go to the image as well. Let's check out the image preview. So you can see we got the image preview as well. So our IPFS integration is working fine. Let me commit this out so that we don't lose, or one second, guys. Let's just commit this to Git so that we don't lose. All right. So now let's start minting it. So let me just commit this out. We'll say update, integrate, Pinata Cloud. Commit. All right. Now let's take care of the contract setup, the Web3 setup. So what you have to do is, here's how I'll actually do it. So first thing is we'll have a, usually internally we'll have config folder. Inside that we'll have a lot of configs. Among that, one will be the contracts. And since we don't have much files here, let's not create multiple folders and everything. Let's just directly write configs here in the root itself, configs.js. So here's what we'll write all the contract setup and everything. So let me pull up my notes on that. Yeah. Okay. So for that, you need ABI. So for this, I'm actually going to create a folder so that I don't have to mess this up. And go inside the contracts. Remember this hard hat setup, right? Go inside that hard hat setup. Go inside the deployments. Okay. And then here you can see Duo NFT with JSON, right? Copy that file. Okay. Duo NFT JSON. Copy the whole file, not the contents inside it, the whole file. Okay. And come back and paste it inside this ABI. I'll tell you what is this. So if you go inside this, you can see you got a lot of JSON object, right? So many things. So, but can you see what exactly is this? let me search Mint. I search Mint. You can see we get Mint, right? You can see the name is Mint, state mutability non-payable, type function. And what are the parameters it accepts? It accepts an address, recipient, and then a type of UN that's called token ID, and then type of string that's called token URA. Seems familiar. So this ABI is the blueprint of your contract. Okay, it defines all the functions, it defines all the variables, it defines all the events that you have, it defines the the access visibilities, all those stuff. Okay, the constructors, the imports and everything. So it defines every single thing. Okay, so you need a blueprint of this ABI, you need this ABI in order to make a contract call from React or Node.js or anywhere. Okay, so we'll import this. Okay, we have this Duo NFT.json file here. So we have this contract config.json here. So now let's write out the config here that's required. So first we have to import the ABI. So here I'm going to say from ABI Duo NFT.json. I'm going to import the ABI. Okay, I'll use an alias here. I'm going to import this as Duo NFT ABI. Okay, you can use as to rename it. Okay, and then I'm going to export const contract address. Okay, since if you have multiple list of contract address, you can. I usually prefer using an object because I might have multiple contact addresses. So you prefer to use just constant or a variable or something. So we'll say Duo NFT. So where is the contact address specified? So you can actually find that inside the ABI. If you scroll on to the first line, you can actually get the address. Okay, here is the address. So we'll paste the address. So this is the contact address we have. And then all we have to do is we have to set up the contract instance. So we'll say export const contract, or maybe you can just say contracts. An object which would say name Duo NFT, and then ABI Duo NFT ABI, and then address would be contract address dot one. Maybe you can just export this as an array. That would be better. Why are we doing this? This is actually optional. So this is not exactly the Web3 setup. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to organize our contracts. So let's say when you're building projects, you might have around 4 to 5 contracts. So you need some way to manage and organize this stuff, right? So if you have multiple contracts here, so you can increase this. Okay, you can increase the number of contracts you have here, and similarly, you can increase this whole arrays as well. So what this will do is it will give you an organized level or organized manner of all the contract address and the contract setup. Okay, so now you can see you have the name of the contract, you have the ABI, and you have the address as well. So we will pass this to the Web3. Okay, that Web3 will give us an instance. Okay, instance of this contract. Okay, that is Web3 setup, which has a Web3 setup and everything. Now let's take care of that setup. So for that, what we'll do is we'll go inside utils. I'm going to use utils here. So we'll create a web3.js file. Okay, and then we will import web3 here. So we have to yarn add web3. We have to install web3 library. So let it install. Okay. Oh, it's taking a long time. Have you guys tried Bun to install these packages? It's actually very fast. By now it would have been installed, and it would have it will install that in maybe half a second or something. It's so fast. So we'll say import web3 from web3. Okay, we import web3 from web3, and then we will actually export default or export class called web3. Okay, again, capital W here, small w here, guys. Okay, we'll export this, and then we'll have a private instance or private static of instance. instance. Okay. Oh, you don't need private here since it's JavaScript. Okay, I have my notes on TypeScript, so I'm actually like getting confused here. So we'll have another static called get instance. So if web3 dot instance, we say return. Oh, there's a lot of boilerplate code that you have to take care of, guys. Okay, this should be an underscore. F3 dot underscore instance. Okay, so what we're trying to do is we're checking whether the instance is already created or not. If it exists, then we're actually returning it, or else we'll create a new one. So we'll say web3 again. B is W is capital letter here. Dot instance equals new now small w. Okay, dot given web3 dot given provider. This is actually very important, this given provider. So remember the RPC that I told you. Remember the RPC that we got from Matic Vigil and then added that to a hard hat config. So this web3 given provider will actually fetch that. Okay. So whenever you're interacting with MetaMask, right? So this web3 given provider will connect with that MetaMask, get the RPC, and then provide an instance for this, which will be stored here. And that's what we're checking here. So every time we call this web3, we check if the web3 instance is actually available or not. If it is available, we'll just return that, or else we'll create a new one. Okay. Yes. Now let's return web3.instance. That's it. That's all we're doing. Okay, that's all. So web3 setup is actually done. Now the only thing is we have to like hook this up with our contracts, the contract setup that we did in config. So now what we'll do is we'll just set up contracts.js. Okay, and we'll import contracts from our config. Okay, and then we'll import web3 from our web3 class that we just defined, and then we'll export. We'll export class contract instances. Okay, contract instance or instances or anything that you guys want to call, and we'll export a static instance. Oh wait. Aren't we actually doing the same thing? No, actually it's correct. Instance, and here it's static get instance. Same thing that we did on web3 as well. The same kind of setup here that we're doing. We'll say web3 equals web3 dot instance. Okay, we're getting the web3 instance that we defined on web3 class. Okay, and then we say const contracts, a contracts object, and then we say contracts from here dot map or for each or anything you guys want. We'll say con C for contracts here, and we'll say contracts of C dot name equals new web3 dot eth dot contract. So here's what we're actually creating it. So web3 dot eth the contract will give you the contract setup. So what we're trying to do is, if you go inside this contract, remember this array. So we are actually looping over it. Okay, and then for c dot name would actually give you this one, do NFT, and we are storing that in this object. Okay, so we're creating a web3 contract. Okay, we're creating web3 contract instance for every single contracts that we have. Okay, so we have to pass ABI here. So we have to pass c dot ABI. Okay, and then c dot address. Okay, c is coming from here. So whenever we loop, okay, and then we're storing it in this contract. Okay, so after this, we just say contract instance dot underscore instance equals this contract instance. Wait. No, this is not required, I guess, because we're actually storing this here. Oh yeah, this one. That's it. So with this, you're done with everything. You're done with all the setup and everything. So all you have to do is you have to just return contract instance dot instances. That's it. You're done. Finally done with the setup. It's all about calling the mint function right now. So I know this is really confusing. I'll just give a quick recap so that it makes everything simple. The first thing that we did was that we tried to organize everything. So we tried to organize our ABIs, we tried to organize our contact address, we tried to organize all the list of contacts that we have. So ABI is something like the blueprint of your contract that you have written in a JSON format. Okay. And then this contact address is a list of contact addresses that we have. Okay. And then contracts are nothing but this makes it easier for us to iterate and then create Web3 contract object. Okay. So we have a name and then we have the ABI and then we have the contact address. Okay. Next thing that we did was that we did Web3 JS setup. So what we did was that we're checking if there's an Web3 instance already available, because we don't have to create a new Web3 instance every single time we refresh the page, right? So we're checking if the Web3 instance is already available. If it is, we're just returning it, or else we're creating a new one. Again, this given provider is nothing but it will take the JSON RPC, the provider, from the MetaMask wallet or any other wallet that you have on your browser. Okay. And then at last we have this contact.js file, which actually creates a new instance of the contract, where we import the Web3 instance, and then where we do pour the contracts that we made here, all the contract lists that we organized, and then it creates a web3.eth contract. So this is a web3 object that lets us interact with the contract. Okay, so we pass the ABI and we pass the address, and then we're returning it. Okay, so this way, if you ask me like why can't we directly call web3 for either in the component and then save all these lines of code. The reason why I showed you this was because whenever you work with a big project or let's say a real application, you have multiple contracts. By this way, you can generate all the Web3 contracts at one place like a factory and then reuse it, like import and directly call the contract from the components instead of calling it every single time, making a Web3 contract and then making a contract call. That would be tedious. Okay. So now, since we have the setup, let's go back to our Mint controller, Mint NFTs, and then the Mint handler, and then Mint the NFT. Let me comment this console log. Uh, 1 second, guys. Hey guys, sorry for that interruption. So as I was saying, so now let's call the contract from our mint handler. So first thing is we have to import not the Web3, we have to import this instance contract instances. Okay, so we'll say contract instance. Okay, we'll come back to our mint handler here. So here we have to say const transaction equals await contract instance dot instances dot it should be Duo NFT from here. First, let's log this contract instance. Let's see what we get. Okay, let's console log this contract instance. Let's see what we get. Comment out all the lines so that we don't have to make API calls again and again. So let's go back. Let's refresh. Wait. We have an issue. Okay. Oh, to import as Duo NFT API from default exporting module only. Okay, got it. Seems like this doesn't let us do this like this. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna import this as Duo NFT API and then just add API here. Something like this. It should actually solve it. What? This is Polyfill Node.js modules. Polyfill need to fall back to stream. I'm not using stream, right? Why am I getting stream here? Let me just stop this server. URL. Okay, wait. Am I importing some URL here? No. We have 10 errors. That's bad. So it's what it's saying is it's saying that we're using some node modules, Node.js related modules, and then it's saying that cannot be used here. But I don't see we're using any node modules here, right? Node.js based modules here, right? This is weird. Hmm. Are we using anything? No. Here, none. Here, none. Here, no. What about here and utils? Pin files to IPFS? No. Any idea, guys? Like, why are we getting this issue? Any idea if you guys have? Any idea why we might be getting this issue? Ethereum JS utils. Wait, we don't have Ethereum JS utils. This is bad. Let me comment this out. Let me comment this import. Let's do one thing. Let's just call this directly right now. Let's call Web3 contracts directly. Let's see how that goes. I'm gonna just delete these files right now. I'm not sure what's exactly happening though. Whether this is the reason why it's actually causing it. Right now it's probably fine. So let me import Web3 from Web3 library. Okay, and let me import contract addresses. Contracts. This is going to throw any issues? Yeah. Oh, this is what is throwing issues. This contracts. I think it's due to this API. Oh no. This Web3. This Web3 importing this Web3 is causing an issue. Web3 for React. This is bad. I mean, we usually use Web3 for in React in Next.js and everything, but you have to install it like Web3 instead. See, I mean, they're using Web3. So why we are getting issues for using Web3? Let's try ethers then. Let's try ethers. Ether should work fine, I guess. Yeah, Ethers.js should work fine. Let's just get the module like to create the this one contract from ethers. For the API docs, create contracts. Where is the contracts? Contracts. Contract. Okay, so here we have to call ethers.contract. It's not the 3 ETH and everything. So let me remove this. Instead, I'm going to import ethers from ethers. Will this cause any issues? We had all the setup made. It took so much time, and then this didn't work. It's okay. This didn't throw any issues. Great. Let's use ethers. So what we have to do is here. You just have to say const contract equals new ethers.contract. Then we have to pass API for this one. To address or name contract instances and signer or provider. Let's just check their docs for this. Okay, so what we'll do, we'll say contracts of 0.address. And then next thing is that we have to provide, there's no proper example as well to use it to create the ethers contract directly. I had that somewhere, but I'm not able to find it. Let's just check if they have any examples over here. Nope. Address, API, and signer. Okay, let's just provide it. The same way, we'll import API. Same way, we have to create the provider as well. So now let's check for the signers, providers here. And the docs is really slow. See, it's still spinning. Okay, finally. Okay, we have to use the get default provider. It should actually work fine, I guess. Ethers.get default provider. Right. So let's console log this. Let's see what type of contract we get. Okay. Now let's go back to our code. Hopefully this doesn't throw any issues. It does. It does. What? Ethers was not found in ethers. Not sure whether this is a React issue or whether this is set up, the issue with the setup or something. Really not able to find out what's happening with this. Saying ethers is not found. Like, if this works out, then I'll be really pissed off, man. Seriously. Oh, it works now. Yeah. To be honest, guys, I don't really understand what exactly is the issue here. So this happens to me so many times. So I import this as here, but it won't work. Sometimes says it is undefined and everything. But when I import it like this directly in the function, it actually works. I have no idea why. For me, this happens a lot of time. So I don't know whether it's an issue with my system or something. So if you guys have any solution for this, let me know. Okay, why this thing is actually happening. Now let's try to call mint NFT and check what type of contract we get. So we can see we got the contract properly. So we get all the functions and everything. Now let's call the mint function. So all you have to do is you have to say contract dot methods. Wait. What? Not getting is it functions dot mint? You should have a mint function somewhere here. Call static is fine. Yeah, you have a mint function, but it's not actually type it's not auto completing. So now what we'll do is we'll say transaction equals await contract dot mint. Okay, and then what is the first thing that we have to send? We have to send the address, right? Address of the recipient. So we'll have to get the user address. To get the user address, you have to call the Ethereum Web3 call, Web3 provider call. For that, you can just search for MetaMask docs, Okay, and then you can search for something called ETH request accounts. So you have to search. There is something called RPC APIs, I guess. It should be that. Yeah, ETH request accounts. So when you do that, you will get the account from MetaMask. Okay. Now what we'll do is we're going to say accounts here, and then we'll say await window dot Ethereum Ethereum. Is the spelling correct? Ethereum. Yeah. Ethereum dot. It should be something called get provider or something. Something like this. Ethereum dot request. Ethereum dot request, and then we say ETH method dot ETH request accounts. That's it. So this will give us the accounts. So this will give us an array of accounts. So we have to accept the first account. So here for the mint, I'm going to say account of 0. That would be my first account in the MetaMask. And then token ID would be 1. Okay. And then we'll have the URI. So URI would be this one, metadata upload IPFS hash. So I'm going to say IPFS and then add it here. Okay. So we have all the mint call. But this actually won't work. The reason is the token ID here is hard coded, right? It's hard coded. So it's not dynamically getting the token ID. To get the dynamic token ID, what we can do is we can actually call contract itself. We can say token ID, or we can say total supply, and then we'll say await contract dot total supply dot. And then you can also add from here, from like it says from whom this call is going. So we'll say from account of 0. Now let's log this total supply here. Let's say total supply, and then let's see what do we get. I'm going to say return here. Okay. Now let me refresh. Oh, this is not found. Yeah, this is not found. Okay. If I hit enter, so it actually connects my MetaMask, because remember we're doing ETH request account. So it actually tries to connect my MetaMask here. So you can see it actually asks me to connect. And wait for it. It's storing. It's still loading. Some reason. Okay, we got it. Cannot read call. That's fine. Remove it. What about now? But not really sure this. What's happening for this today? I mean, we have the function here, right? If I log this, if I go back, we should have these functions here. See, that's the reason I use TypeScript, guys. So we get the type completion as well, and we're going to see what's wrong in it immediately. But this is actually bad. We're not able to see the total supply here. That's weird. And how am I going to get the total supply? We have signer, symbol, token URI, safe methods, provider, owner of, name. Balance, approve. This is wrong. We don't have token supply here. Is this supposed to happen? Let us check with Remix once. Yesterday we had this in Remix, right? We had everything, right? Let's check with Remix once. Contracts, do an NFT. Let's try to deploy this contract. We'll just deploy with Remix VM, no problem. This is just for verifying, right? I'm going to just give some values here. Okay. We don't have total supply. How is this possible? This is pretty weird. How come is this possible? Very bad. All right, let's try with maybe let's try with 2 or 3. Let's try with 3 here. Let's enable this. I'll get you a solution for that, guys. I'll get you a solution why we're not getting total supply from ES721. Actually, that's a standard method. You should actually get it immediately, but I'll get you a solution for that. Okay. And I think this should be fine. I think we have to call send here, but I'm not sure whether that's the ethers part or not, because I usually use ethers on the backend part, not on the front end part. So I'm actually confused here with ethers. Let's see. Transaction, and I'll console log this transaction. Okay, so we have everything set up here. Now let's run this transaction. So this should actually mint your NFTs. For now, instead of this, I'm going to just use this random string just to test it out. Unsupported send transaction. What requires a signer? We are signing it, right? Okay, let's do one thing. I'm going to say get default provider. We have it. God, this ether setup is really horrible. Get signer. Okay, we have the signer here. Come on, load soon, damn it. Come on. Get address is signer. No, we don't need this. Signer.connect. Not this one. Get balance. No. This is not what we're looking for. Let's just check ethers.contract. Let's see if we can get some reproduction on this. Sending static calls. Yeah, static calls should be fine. We can get it from that. Come on. Give me an example on ethers here. Ethers.wallet. No, we don't need it. Contract static call. Yeah, sure. But where is the ether setup? This guy doesn't made any ether setup. No, there is no ether setup here as well. It is the provider private key. See, this is one other thing that I hate with ethers is that it requires you to like to set up every single thing. It doesn't like read everything from the Web3 injected for your browser. So this is really best for backend because in backend you have to set up every single thing, and Web3 library is really bad for the backend. But on the front end, Web3 library is actually better. I'm not sure why it's not picking up anything here, and it's throwing so many issues for us here. I think maybe this should work. Maybe we can sign this. But private key, again, I have to input my private key, by alone. I have to input my private key by myself, which is actually bad. It doesn't pick up from the provider. Huh. Maybe if I ethers.wallet MetaMask. Let's see ethers wallet MetaMask if it picks up from my MetaMask or not. If it doesn't, maybe we have to use private key for the transactions part. This is really bad. Provider, ethers provider, Web3 provider, Windows, Ethereum, any, okay. Get signer from this. All right, this should work actually. Let's try this. Const provider, new ethers provider, Windows, Ethereum. And then we get the signer, something like this, get signer, which can be passed here. Now let's check it out. Let's make a transaction. On MetaMask. Oh, it works. Finally. Insufficient funds. I don't have funds. It's my account one. I have a lot of funds here. Let me reject and check my funds balance. Oh, I don't have any balance. That's great. How come? Let me get some balance, guys. Matic faucet. I can get some balance here. Okay, I should receive around like 0.2 Matic or something. I have in account 3. Let me transfer that to account 1 as well. Transfer max. Transfer to account 1. Transfer whatever that I have. Come on. Yeah. Okay, so let's just wait until my account one gets some balance here, and then we'll try. Okay, we got some balance. Let's try minting now. Let's try to mint. All right, so this should actually resolve in 30 seconds, but as always, I'm gonna just make this high because I don't trust Polygon at all. So we got the hash immediately, but you can see it's in type 2, right? It's in type 2. If it's in type 2, then it means that it's still working on the transaction. So you can actually go to MetaMask and see it's still pending. See, it's still pending. And if you copy this hash and go to Polyscan, Mumbai Polyscan, you can actually see it's still loading. See, it's still loading. It might take some time, but the mint actually worked. Now let's try with everything. Let's try to uncomment the whole code. I'm going to explain what we did here once again, because I know we ran into a lot of issues and I had to do many workaround here. I'm going to explain what happened and why we faced a lot of issues as well. Okay, so we'll just alert saying mint success, and then we'll have to clear out all the input values. So I'm going to set image preview to none, and then raw to null. And then I'm going to set the title. Set title to empty string and set description to empty string. We're just clearing out all the state. That's all. Okay. So mint was successful. You can see mint is successful, and you can see a token is transferred, right? You can see a token is transferred to the my address. This is the contract, and this is the token. Yes, is a token. Token number 3 was transferred to my address. So you can see it actually shows everything. Duo NFT, DNT. Okay, so you can see there were 2 mint appeared. So one was yesterday, and then one was today. Now let's mint another one. So here I'm going to just make this to 4. Okay, then we'll go back right now to now we'll mint every single thing. We'll add an image. So I'm going to get my create image here. We'll say create or Chumbi create image. This is an image of create, and then we'll mint it. This should pop up MetaMask again. It didn't. Transaction. Okay, it did. Okay, it was uploading the image and everything, right? Understandable. Okay, now we'll make this high. Confirm this. So this should mint it. So mint was successful. It says mint successful, but you have to go and check from your MetaMask once. You can go here, view on Block Explorer. So this should actually complete as soon as possible. So after this completing, we can actually see this on this one. What do you say? OpenSea. Okay. So let's wait for some time until it's minted. So meanwhile, if you guys have any questions, meanwhile, let me just answer, like quickly go through what was the issue we faced. The first issue we faced is, I don't know why, maybe this because of the any new updates made on React or something. The Web3 library was causing some issues. Seems like it was importing many Node.js library, which React doesn't support, because Node.js is a backend and React is a browser based, right? So many libraries was not supported. So it was saying Webpack 5 was not supporting them. So that's the reason we have to delete all the config we made. I know we spent a lot of time making all these Web3 config, the contract config, writing instance and everything, but we have to remove them because of this issue. I really have no idea why it caused today, because we use Web3 on the front end for literally all the projects. It works fine. No idea why it caused today. And next issue what we faced was on ethers. So remember, I imported ethers here on as global import, but I don't know whether it's the problem with my system or is it the problem with React. It happens to be on Node.js as well. It says undefined here. Okay, it says undefined when I import here, but when I try to require it directly on the function where I need it, it actually works. Okay, I have no idea why this is happening. If you guys have any solution for that, I'll be happy to try that once and see if that works or not. Okay, and next thing is Ethers was we were able to detect Web3 provider, that is Window Ethereum, from the browser, and you can see we have to do some workaround here to get the sign-in provider on Ethers. But in Web3, it's actually simple. You just have to call given default provider or given provider. That will take care of everything. Okay, so what we're trying to do is we're trying to get a Web3 provider from Window Ethereum, that is from MetaMask, which is injecting the Web3 to our browser. Okay, and then we're getting the signer, that is my address, like my signature from the MetaMask itself. Okay, it's getting the private key from there. Okay, instead of me manually inputting that here. And then we're trying to create a contract instance. Remember in Web3, we did Web3.ether contract, right? Similarly, we're trying to create a contract instance here with the contract address, the contract ABI, and the signer. And then here, we're trying to call the MetaMask. So what we're trying to do is, we're making sure that MetaMask is connected with our React application so that we can get the account of the, my wallet address. And then we call the mint function. The mint function, we're calling it with account and then the token ID and then the IPFS hash. Okay, for the metadata. That's the whole setup what we're trying to do here. So now let's check Polygon. Okay, seems like the token number 4 was transferred. Now let's check the OpenSea. I'm going to copy this contact address. I'm going to go to OpenSea, testnet.opensea. And then I'm going to search for this Duo NFT. There are 3 items. That should be fine. So this was the first one that we minted yesterday. And token number 3 won't have anything because token number 3 didn't have any metadata, right? It was just a string. But token number 4 should have the data. So let's go to token number 4. Okay, token number 4. And then we'll refresh it here. We'll refresh it. So it might take some time to update it. We'll just keep on refreshing this page. Refresh. Refresh again. Refresh. Okay, we'll just answer some Q&A and then we'll come back again for this one. Okay, so coming to the questions, I actually deployed a previous pattern contract on BSC testnet, but I'm not getting token tracker on BSC scan testnet page. Will that make any difference? Token tracker, I think it's not. It's fine if it's on testnet though. I think token tracker does not matter on testnet. Yeah, it should be fine. Okay. To interview, ask syntax or anything quiz about or prefer language interviews. I didn't actually get this question, Harsh. I need some more details on this. Okay. Can we get free Matics? Free testnet Matics. Okay. You can get free testnet tokens for every single chain. You can get for ETH, you can get for Matic, you can get for BSC as well. Only on testnet. So it takes a lot of time. Let's check on Remix once whether a contract was properly deployed with the IPFS hash and everything. So the contact address, we'll copy the contact address. We go to Remix, we delete this, we'll connect Web3, MetaMask. Okay, and then we'll deploy using address. So now I'm going to check for token URI of token ID 4. So yes, it is properly deployed. Let's cross verify once with, this one. Cross verify once whether if it's properly deployed. Yes, it is properly deployed. We just have to wait until OpenSea actually updates it on their, index it on their system. Oh yeah, we got it. You can see we got Chumbi here. You can see the description. This is the image of Chumbi crate, right? And details, you can see it was minted, the contact address, ES721, Mumbai blockchain. Okay, so you can see we got all the details. So similarly, I'll push this code to GitHub as well, so you can try that. Okay, and there is one issue that we have right now, the total supply one. So maybe we can look into it. I can post the solution on that on Discord. Okay. So, all right, guys. So that is it. We were able to mint, although we were able to we ran into some Web3 issues. Really sorry for that. Didn't quite expect that would happen, but unfortunate situation though. But cool. So this was this is like a basic version of minting. Like this was a really tiny part, like 1%. We just add a contract. We just mint call the contract from React. But there was no complex setup, or there was no many working modules inside this project, right? So that's why maybe, as I was saying yesterday, I thought of coming up with a detailed version of this bootcamp, like where we not only read NFT contract, we do something more with NFTs, maybe renting and everything. Okay, so you not only mint an NFT, you also rent it to people, and then you revoke it once the renting period expires. And then whenever there is this rent or whenever there is this mint, you make a real-time ping, real-time notification for your community members. There can be many more like this. We can use Morales to write cloud functions for real-time communication with contract and backend. We can build something like this. I mean, if you guys are interested, maybe I can, design a syllabus for this and then share it with you guys. And then, we can discuss now regarding when we can have this bootcamp and everything. So let me know if you guys are interested on that. Okay. Also, if you guys have any more ideas like this, like, what you guys want and everything, I really would be great if you guys can share that with me right now, either on chat or if you can put on your mic and talk to me regarding that as well. That would be great. Okay. Coming to these questions, whether it matters on mainnet based on previous tested question. It should matter, I guess, because uh, um, I haven't heard of these issues with token trackers before, or neither did I listen to this. What do you say? Concern with token trackers. Maybe you can just see if there's any answer on forums or anything online. Okay, because up till today I didn't hear this issues with token trackers even now. Or maybe you can wait for some time because BSC testnets and everything, they might take a little bit of time to index your tracker. So wait for some time and check it out again. Okay. Regarding the flattened smart contract, yeah, I told you, right? It should work. I initially answered that question. It is fine. You can work with it. Okay. No. Interviewers won't ask you like syntax and everything. They just ask you, they'll test you for your problem solving ability, right? They won't ask you syntax. Is it not safe to put private key in code, right? No, do not put your private key on code. Unless and until you know what you're doing, do not put your private key on code. Wait, I think I've added my private key in my repo. I have to delete it. Yeah, I have to delete it. Okay, if you know what you're doing, that's fine. Or else do not share your private key on your code. That's even more dangerous than sharing API keys. Okay. All right, that private key is fine. I use it only for testing. I don't use it in mainnet transaction. I have a different set of wallets for mainnet transaction, so I won't be sharing that anyway. But that private key is fine though. Even if you use that private key, only get testnet tokens, so that's fine. All right. So any other questions, guys? So as I was saying, we'll have another blockchain-based bootcamp, but we'll have in that bootcamp we'll have a lot of detailed modules, like not only as 721, but we'll include some more standard contracts as well. We'll connect them. We'll make sure they are imported, and then we'll design like a complex contract. We'll see how we can add events. We'll see how to trigger events. We'll see how to capture these events via Morales. We'll see how to write cloud functions via Morales, how to connect our backend to Morales and keep them in sync. Anything happens, we'll get that contracts and everything. Maybe we can try that though. Okay. How can we deploy contracts to mainnet too? Of course you can deploy. How can you like do the transaction without contracts on mainnet? How to add test details matic count to MetaMask? Oh yeah. Sorry. I forgot to show that. So you can go to Polyscan here. Okay, this Mumbai Polyscan, right? You can go here, scroll down. You can see here, add Mumbai network. Click on that. Okay. For me, it says already added, but for you, it will open up MetaMask and then you can add your wallet from there. Okay. When is the new bootcamp starting? Not sure about it. I need to like design the curriculum and everything. So maybe Dave and we can sit and design it today night and tomorrow, and then I can show you an update on Monday. Okay, I'll share you the details and everything on Monday so that we can have it. Is it paid or free? I'm not really sure about it. It depends on the complexity of the bootcamp, because I want to we do this bootcamp for the whole week, right? I just want to make sure that we're doing it like, we're trying to test something over there. It's not like surface level. It should be like in-depth level, right? That's what I'm trying to do. Try to come up with something more complex, something that's really insightful. Even if you guys join, it should be like you guys get so many knowledge out of it, so many things out of it. That's what I'm trying to do. But really, I'll get you complex, a whole schedule of the bootcamps. I'll share that with you guys. Okay, and then maybe we can decide on like when it can be, and then what's the time frame and everything. Okay. Thank you, Teja. Thank you so much. Transition to other tech to blockchain is different. Is there any development on bootcamp or course? I don't know about course though, because I only study blockchain things using blogs and articles. I haven't looked into any course such kind of thing right now. So maybe you have to research on that a bit. Yeah. For deploying on mainnet, you have to require real tokens. Yeah. If you're deploying on Matic, Polygon, you need real mainnet Matic. If you're deploying on BSC, you need Binance, Binance Smart Chain tokens. So, but you need to spend money on that. Yeah. Is difficult. Yeah, as I told you, Hari. So I have no, because I didn't take up any video course on this blockchain. I was only involved in reading blogs and everything. So I'm not sure about this institute or someone who can help you with jobs regarding that. But I suggest you to, like, since you're already, you are working, right? So I'd say that you just try to get some experience working on your personal projects on the Solidity and everything, and then you know how to apply, on job portals, right? Like you already know, like, there are multiple portals available, right? You can apply from them, either Indeed or Insta Hire or something. You can use that to apply and then get some good job instead of going with this course or boot camps and everything. Who promises to offer a job? Okay. Into OpenSea, they don't charge us, so adding money from their side to deploy and maintain their deployment doesn't. No. You cannot mint from OpenSea. You actually mint it, OpenSea just index it, and then they just show that to you using the contract address. That's it. Okay. But they actually help you to sell and trade and everything. So for that, you have to pay a bit of commission for them as well. But don't worry, guys. So this was a basic level bootcamp. So you guys are now familiar with all the concepts and everything, right? How contracts work, how contracts deploy, and everything. So in the next bootcamp, I'm damn sure that you will get a lot of knowledge on that. I'm gonna just touch a little bit of intermediate level of contract, basic, Solidity contracts. You'll be writing a lot of contracts. I'll make sure that you write multiple contracts, not only one, multiple contracts. Okay, and then you'll be building not only front end with the back end as well. Okay, you'll be calling contracts both from back end and front end. You'll be adding Morales, as I said, Morales as well. So I'm gonna make sure that right now what you learned, that's the basic level, but in the next bootcamp you will touch for intermediate level. I'm gonna make sure of that. Okay, just give me some time to design the syllabus, and then I'll definitely ping you guys on our groups. Okay. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much for all the support. Okay. All right, guys. So it's almost 8:40. So if you guys have any questions, you can drop, or else maybe we can meet in the next bootcamp. Okay. So I'll send you the feedback form, guys. So make sure to fill up the feedback form and then give us a honest review. You can give us like a suggestion on how to improve as well. So that will help us a lot. So because last time we got a lot of requests for blockchain-based bootcamp, so we made a blockchain-based bootcamp. So depending on your demand as well, we try to curate our syllabus according to that. Okay. So thank you all, guys. Thank you so much. Take care. Happy weekend. Bye. See you in the next bootcamp. Bye.